So in this video, we're going to learn about evaluating limits at infinity. What does that mean? I give you a graph. We're going to do it without a graph, but I'm just explaining this. When x goes to infinity, where is the graph going? Is it going to positive infinity or is it going to negative infinity? So we're going to see how to find this without the graph. If you look at the graph, you can easily know. Without the graph, how do you do this? So let's start with an example. For example, I give you limit x going to infinity, say something like this. The question is to find the answer here. So what do you do this is, in order to solve this, you need to find two things. First, which is something called as n and an. N is the degree of the equation, and an is the leading coefficient. What do you understand by the degree of the function or the equation? Is the highest power in the function. So now clearly the highest power here is 3. So n is 3. And what do you understand by leading coefficient is denoted by an, is the number before the one with the highest degree. The number before x cube is -6. And then you check, is n odd or even? So is 3 odd or even? It is clearly odd. And then you check, is an positive or negative? So this is clearly negative. Once you know all of this, you'll have to go to a set of formulas. Is this one? And you see where do you belong. First you check the top. Is it even degree or odd degree? So it's odd degree because 3 is odd. And leading coefficient, is it positive or negative? If it's negative, it means you belong to the fourth one here. And when x goes to infinity, the answer y goes to negative infinity. So the answer to this problem is negative. Means when x goes to infinity, the graph for this thing will go to negative infinity. All right, let's do one more. I give you limit approaching negative infinity now. Something like this. The question is to find the answer here. So first find n and an. What is n over here? 5, which is odd. What is an over here? 3, right? The number before x to the 5, which is positive. Once you have this, you go to the formulas. This will be given to you. And then you check. We're an odd degree and positive coefficient. So we belong here. We belong here. And x is going to negative infinity. So y has to go to negative infinity. So the answer is negative infinity. Any such problem, you can do this by finding NaN and looking at this formula. Okay, let's do one more. Now for this one, you don't need that formula. You type. Say I give you something like this. 2 divided by 3 to the power of x. And the question is to find the answer. What you do is, before you apply the infinity in place of x, you simplify this. This becomes 2 to the x over 3 to the x. Now in place of x, plug in infinity, you get 2 to the infinity over 3 to the infinity. Now 2 to the power of infinity is an infinity. Let's call it infinity 1. 3 to the power of infinity is also infinity. Let's call it infinity 2. What you have to do is decide which of the two infinities are bigger. Is infinity 1 bigger than infinity 2? Or is infinity 2 bigger than infinity 1? That comes from these numbers here. Is 2 bigger than 3? No. Is 3 bigger than 2? Yes. If 3 is bigger than 2, the bottom infinity is bigger. And whenever bottom infinity is bigger, remember the answer is always 0. Just make a note, if the bottom infinity is bigger, the answer is 0. If the top infinity is bigger, the answer is infinity. Let's do one more. I give you something like this. With x approaching negative infinity, 3 over 4 to the power of x. What you do first is you try to simplify this. 3 to the x over 4 to the x. Right, that makes it 3 to the negative infinity divided by 4 to the power of negative infinity. Now, this is what happens if powers are negative. You have to remember this formula. X to the power of negative n is 1 over x to the n. The whole thing flips. You get 4 to the infinity over, and making the infinities positive. So this is infinity 1, and this is infinity 2. And then you have to decide which of the two infinities are bigger. Clearly the top one is bigger. The answer is infinity. Now if there was a negative in front here, then you would keep the negative everywhere, and the answer would be negative infinity. So just remember the sign before the problem, keep it as it is, and in the end. Okay, I hope this makes sense. And any questions, comment below.